Good morning, Lee here from the Hidden Why podcast. Another live video. Well, it's not live actually, but another video of me recording a podcast. Good news is I woke up this morning and it was raining, so that sort of put me in the office here to do a few recordings, which is great. I'm recording a guest blog review actually. I've got guest bloggers wanting to post their material on the Hidden Why, which I'm grateful for. And what I like to do as well is record it into a podcast. So basically, I'm not reading it, but I'm just reading through their blog and giving my review on it, or my thoughts on it, I suppose, more than anything. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. I just need to record the intro. No, can't do that. See, there's always these hiccups when I forget to do things. You'd think I would be really systemized and know exactly what I'm doing now, but I've got a few technical issues that I'm trying to sort out at the moment too, see? So there's my excuse. G'day and welcome to the Hidden Why podcast. This is episode 835, and today I'm reviewing a guest blog, which is 7 Ways to Live Your Values. It's a blog by Ellie Coverdale. I hope you enjoy. Wasn't too bad, eh? So we just need to trim that back a bit, and hopefully it'll fit within that intro, which it doesn't, but that's okay because we can just slide that along a bit. See, and this is going to sound terrible your end, I can tell you now, because I don't have, as you can see, any earphones in. So you're just going to hear it coming straight from my... Which is 7 ways to live your value. Oh, no, that didn't work. It's a blog by Ellie Coverdale. Hope you enjoy. All right, so now we can record the review. Now again, this is a... non-scripted, non-dialogued recording. So sometimes I get into it and I go, oh, that's not too good, and I re-record. Hopefully that won't happen here. If it does, you probably won't see this video anyway, because I'll probably just restart the video. But here we go. I'm talking about 7 ways to live your values every day. It's actually a short, snappy read and pretty insightful. I think it could go deeper, but certainly there's a lot to be had out of blogs like this. So let's get into the show. G'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hidden Why podcast. I'm actually recording this in a video form today as well, so you may be able to see some of these videos on my Facebook or YouTube channel. G'day. So today, guys, I am doing a guest blog review. So I've got some guest bloggers at the moment coming on the Hidden Why website, putting their material up there for everyone to see, which is fantastic. I'm grateful for it. Certainly if it aligns with what we're doing here, which mostly it does because they've done their research and they've reached out to me based on that. We posted up on the Hidden Why website. As I like to talk and get behind the microphone, I actually like to put them into a podcast format as well, which benefits the blogger, but also benefits me by giving me content to put out as well. So that's what I'm doing here today. Before I get into that, guys, the good news is that I just received a copy of my book in print and what it's going to look like. Now, there's a few things that needs to be adjusted, but it is getting closer. It's taking a heck of a long time. I know. I was hoping it was going to be at end of last year, and here we are at the end of 2019. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'll be able to put it up there for everyone to read and grab by the end of this year, which might be seasonal, might be timely, because self-improvement, generally you start seeing an influx of those books coming out towards the end of the year because people are starting to rethink about their life at this time of the year and also into the new year as well. And I guess that's when people really want to start to make some changes, because we get to the end of the year and we go, shit, what have I done with my year? What am I doing with my life? And then we start thinking about making some changes. So hopefully my book's there and of use with those changes as well. It's called The Ultimate Life Map. It might help you with your ultimate life. Anyway, watch this space for that book, please. So this is an important blog post, an important conversation too, I believe. The guest blogger, her name is Ellie Coverdale, and she is a spiritual writer at Big Assignments of Ox Essays. She loves sharing her insights about meditation, spirituality, and mindfulness with her readers. So you can check her out at Elite Assignment Help. There's a link within the show notes for this episode, and this episode is 835. So check that out, guys, and thank her for sharing this post as well. So 7 ways to live your values every day. Now, why I think this is an important topic, because it's one of those things that I never, to be honest, understood, never had a clue about. We don't get taught this at school. It doesn't come up in family conversations. But what are your values? What are your bloody values? And it's a really important one. And it's a really hard thing to determine too. I've put out plenty of videos and content there on how to determine your values, your core values, they say. But really, I think it just comes down to, what do you want to do with your life? What's important to you? What really lights you up? If you can ask yourself those few simple questions, you might be able to connect the dots. And that could be something like, I really am striving for achievement. Or it might be that I just want to have family. Family is really important to me. It might be wealth creation. It might be creativity. There's so many different facets of this, and I'm going very broad here at the moment. But go online, do your homework, and you can find out your values there. And then it's really about aligning your life and how you behave and what you do that aligns with your values every day. If you can do that, align your values with what you do with your life, then you're going to live happier. You're going to be happier because you're actually doing the things that you enjoy. You're doing the things that you're good at. You're doing the things that are important to you, that matter to you. And at the end of your life, I can tell you, there's not much more that matters than doing what's important to you. And that might sound selfish in pursuit, but it's actually very beneficial to others around you as well. Because when you're doing the things that really light you up, that you enjoy, that you love, I can tell you now, all those other people around you are going to benefit as well. And if you look at the top regrets of the dying, one of the top regrets was that they didn't live a life true to themselves. They did everything based on external expectations, external values, what everyone else thought they should be living their life like. And this is what we commonly fall into the trap of. This is actually a little bit of what my book is about, The Ultimate Life Map, is really going out there and living aligned more with your why, with your purpose, with what actually lights you up. And that's based on your strengths, your dreams, your goals, your values, all these things. So this is a really good, timely blog post, really, considering my book is coming out soon as well. And Ellie actually shares 7 ways to keep your values alive every day. That's how I would describe it anyway. So the first one is to keep them visible. Now, top of mind means you're probably going to be thinking about them more. And when you think about things, that really creates your choices. And as most people talk about, choices create our destinies. So yes, that's a very, very important thing to do. Keep them visible. And it's not about the choice so much, it's about how you think. And if how you think is aligned with your values, and that's by viewing them every day, then hopefully you're going to make the choices that align yourself with your values more commonly. Does that make sense? I think it might. So that's what you got to do. Keep them visible. Ellie suggests, putting them on your computer screen, in the background, on your phone perhaps, sticky notes around your room, whatever it might be. I've got a vision board here at the moment, and I've got images of things that I value, and they're more themes about how I'd like to live my life and what's important to me this year and going forward, I suppose, as well. You can do a bunch of different things, but just try and keep them visual. I'm not the best person at this sort of thing. I certainly try to keep things in my wallet, but I don't look at them. I've kept placards in my pocket in my car. Don't always look at them. Actually, a good one is in your car. If you use your car a lot, is in the dashboard. There's many things you can do to help that visual awareness top of mind, hopefully top of how you do everything every day. So keep them visible. Number 2, share them with your loved ones. And this is actually aligned with, she talks about it in number 5 as well, which is talk about them. And I think they're sort of aligned, but maybe I'm missing something there. But share them with your loved ones. Again, when you talk about them more, when you share them with people that you love, they're going to be on board with you too. They're going to start to understand you more, and they're going to actually prompt you with that. Probably when it comes up in conversation again, they might bring something up. How's your projects going with your book or your creativity or your exercise, whatever it might be. They're the ones that support you. So really, by sharing them with loved ones, not only reinforces it within you because you're actually talking about it, and the act of taking it from a sticky note on your computer to actually talking about it with other people, it actually reinforces it in your mind too of what's important to you, and that will help you not only remember it more, but hopefully act on it more. It'll help you be more integral with your values. So share them with your loved ones. And the next thing is surround yourself with the right people. So number 3, surround yourself with the right people. And that's what it's all about too. I mean, you think about our values. Often, if we're in this group of people that don't share the same values with us, it's going to be very hard for us to really live aligned with our values, because if they don't have that same values, their behaviors and tasks and things that they believe aren't going to be there as well. And that's going to affect how much you live your values. So certainly if you have, and she talks about, a value of creativity, then make sure you do have a circle of creative people in your life, because they're the ones that are going to lift you up. You're going to encourage each other. You're going to bounce ideas off each other. It's really going to help you in living aligned with that value more and more every single day. So that's a really important one. What they say, you surround yourself by the 5 people that you become. So or something like that. Anyway, it's really important. The next one is review your daily tasks. So this is a interesting one. To-do list. I don't really have to-do lists. I have reminders. I certainly do take notes down about things I might need to do, but I try to live my day by routine, and the routine is based on the things that are important to me, my values perhaps, and the things that are going to help me achieve the goals more quickly. So the major tasks, and then all the little tasks that need to be done, like dishes and things that pop in, I don't need to write them on a to-do list. That'll just get done. But I definitely need to have the routine there. So my morning routine, the exercise routine, that needs to be a set time that's in my day, and it just happens automatically. And then I have a work routine, the first few hours of my day. It's certainly for my industry, it's going to be different for you, but my first few hours is dedicating to getting on the phones and calling clients and people that I've interacted with in my industry. That's a really important task for me. But I don't go off a to-do list when I go about doing my values alignments. What I do is try, and this is a James Altucher thing, is try and live aligned by theme. So if exercise or health is important to me, I try to make sure that I do something that's health related every single day. If creativity is important to me, which it is, that's why the podcast is here and my writing, etc., I try to do something every day that's aligned with that. And again, these things fall into my routine. So I do some video blogging, or I do some writing, I go for a jog. Success and achievement is important for me in my own way, and that could be explained on another episode, but I try to really align my activities to help me with that achievement. So these are important ways to live your life. It's a really important point, but I think we could go a little bit more in depth with that as well, like most of these points, but it's a good just reminder of how to live aligned with your values. But not only that, it's a reminder of how important values are in living the life that's really important to you. Number 5, talk about them. We've sort of touched on that, so I'm just going to leave that one, and I'm going to go to number 6, use them for motivation. Your values certainly can be used to really creating your goals. Now, I don't know which always comes first, but usually it's a dream. You have a vision of what you want to do. It might be a 2-week goal. Hey, I want to go and jump off that building because it's got a new bungee cord there. It might be a 5-year goal that you want to be the number 1 person in whatever industry that you're in. Whatever it is, you can actually use your values to align them with your goals. Now, I think it's important to understand that if you have a goal in mind that you want to achieve, first, before going after that goal, is asking yourself, does this align with my values? Because if it doesn't, perhaps it's a goal that perhaps you shouldn't be pursuing, because what does it really matter? If it's not aligned with your values, and your values are the things that are most important to you, then why would you have a goal that's not important? Does that make sense? So I think, when really thinking about your goals in life and your goals in your daily activities, for example, so whether that's a daily goal or a longer term goal, they need to align with your values. Otherwise, you're going to run into obstacles. And when you run into those obstacles, you're going to face that adversity, that uncomfortableness. And if it's not really important to you, you're not going to proceed. So when it's important to you, when it's aligned with your values, you're more likely to push on through, and you're more likely to figure out how to overcome those obstacles as well. So certainly you can use your values to motivate you as well. And finally, to wrap it up, reflect before going to bed. Again, I think it's an important thing to do, and something that I don't do well enough, because by the time I'm in bed, I'm usually asleep. And that's the truth of it. But, it is a nice time to, and I have tried it, I do sometimes try it, to lie in bed and just think about how you went about your day, how well you lived aligned with your values. Was there anything you could have done better? Was there anything that didn't quite align, or that perhaps wasn't necessary? It's a really good time to reflect. I think reflection is critical, and it's something that we often don't, and I'm guilty of this, we often don't give enough time for reflection, but it's one of those things that we need to give time to every single day, and more of it. And that's good motivation for me, actually. Just reading that part is just reflection. Whether it's before bed or any time in the day, I think we need to reflect on how well we're living our life aligned with the things that matter to us most. So there you go, guys. There's my blog review by Ellie Coverdale. Thank you, Ellie. That's a pleasure for you to share that, and I'm very grateful. Guys, check it out at thehiddenwhy.com, episode 835, guest blog, 7 Ways to Live Your Values with Ellie Coverdale. Until next time, peace, passion, and purpose. See you soon. There you go, guys. That's another recording. See you soon.